As we continue, our target is the crappie. It's midwinter, and we're after a meal of fresh fish.
Oh, nice fish, Tom.
Look, that's a beauty. Look at that crappie.
Hi, everybody. Doug Stanke here along with Tom Grunwald from HT Enterprises. And we're on a great crappie spot today. And we're going to be doing what we can, I guess you'd say, to present some presentation tips relative to catching fish. And that is a nice...
Look at that, Doug.
Wow.
He was suspended about 10 feet or so off the bottom. Just started working him up.
A good start right there. And we're going to be fishing, well, what jig? That is the classic heavy head jig right there, the Marmuska.
Yep.
And probably the second one to ever come along was the Gens bug from Lindy. So we're going to be fishing with these heavy head jigs, using some plastics. We're on a classic spot here. We're basin crappies, about 34 to 36 feet deep. These fish are roaming in this basin. And that's the situation. We're going to show you some fine-tuned presentation tips.
Got one coming up on it, Doug. There he is. This doesn't feel too bad. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Holy cow, another beautiful fish.
Is that a beauty?
Wow. That is something.
Came right up hard on that again. They're just rocketing up off the bottom there.
Why don't you explain to everybody why the heavy heads, you know, the whole concept between...
Well, the nice thing about the Marmuska jig, like you say, is the heavy head, it gets down fast to where the fish are, and I can feel that jig when I'm working, and that's the most important thing.
A lot of people don't realize that the tighter you keep your line, you know, the more sensitivity that you actually have down there.
That's right, and I like to just give my rod tip just a little bit of a motion to 1/8 of an inch, just a little bit of wiggle, and then it gives me that tightness and I can get good feel.
And these horizontal hanging jigs are also, you know, the other advantage is that we're always playing this game with the electronics where you see the fish, you see your lure, and this horizontal hanging lure oftentimes is the key, especially in deep water. You know, we're fishing 35 feet deep, to still being able to see something really good on your electronics, even though this is really quite tiny.
There he is.
Tom, you're hot!
He came right in on that one. Oh yeah, real nice crappie.
Holy cow,
look at that.
Isn't that something? Okay, this is a very cool little reel. Call it the AccuCast.
Yep.
Introduced this last year, and it's got two really unique features about it.
This is angled up and pointed toward the stripper guide, so your line's coming off the bail directly to the stripper guide, which gives you a lot more performance in a short ice rod. Secondly, this arm here is quite a bit longer, so today's a nice day, and I'm not wearing a glove, but in the event I was, I can actually grasp the rod, turn the reel, and I won't have that bail hitting me in the knuckle.
There we go. You know, what's been happening is we started out with fishing for the fish that looked like they were close to the bottom, and we've been fishing progressively higher, basically, and higher in the water column, and the fish that are coming in up at about, you know, 22 down to 24, 26 feet are actually much more aggressive when they're coming in. So again, what we've got here is we've got a basin situation. And so you've got shallow habitat up in here, but this is actually dropped down into like 36 feet. And then about a quarter mile that way, you've got about 100 yards that way, 100 yards that way. It's all that basin, and these fish are roaming through that area. Well, basically, here's what's on the market right now that has sort of revolutionized fishing for bluegills and crappies and perch and other kinds of panfish. So the first thing you've got here is the Marmuska, as we were talking earlier. That's the original horizontal hanging Russian style jig brought into the States by HT Enterprises, and that's still around and still catching lots of fish. And the second one really to come along was introduced by Dave Gens, Lindy Tackle. That's the Gens bug. Fish is very heavy once again. It's got a big hook on it. It's a great hooker. And then we've got a variety of things that have come along in the past 6, 7, 8 years, including last year, a lot of introductions from Northland Tackle. But first, from Custom Jigs and Spins, it's the gill pill. And again, heavy head, just a heavy head on this little guy, and an upturned hook. You can add plastic to that, great hooker. From Northland Tackle, the mud bug right here, again, add a little piece of plastic on it. And also from Northland Tackle, another little horizontal hanger called the scud bug.
Well, here's another one, Doug.
That's probably enough.
I think that'll work.
Right there, that's plenty. Kneel down, we'll have a look here quick.
Wow, those are some nice crappies.
Plenty. Perfect dinner.